and far less endowed chest. So how long exactly have you been lying to me too, Renee? Renee ran her red-tipped fingers through her pixie-style haircut and then shook any disheveled strands of white blonde hair back into place with a flick of her head and a hard swallow from Mr. Nelson. Did someone forget to eat her pound of sugar today? Bracing her hands atop her hips, Winnie widened what she hoped was an accusatory look to include a bow tie-wearing Mr. Nelson and their ailment-infested next-door neighbor, Bridget. Did any of you ever think, for even a second, that maybe, just maybe, the reason Delectable Delights failed was because you pretended you liked my desserts? And maybe if you'd told me this, I could have used Gertie's ambulance for something entirely different, like... She cast about for something, anything, to drive home her point, settling finally on the feline gearing up to hiss at her for what had to be the millionth time in little more than 4 months. Like an emergency dog spa. In a flash, Bridget's hands were over Lovey's ears, and Mr. Nelson was caning his way over to the table, his attention no longer on Renee. "What's going on, Winnie girl?" "This!" Again, she lifted Bridget's plate off the table, only this time, instead of inspecting it for clues, she brandished it between them. "How many times have you guys gushed over my latest creations, telling me they're the best thing ever?" Sticking his finger in his ear, Mr. Nelson played with the volume on his hearing aid and then made a face at Renee. "The volume appears to be on." "It better be." Winnie flopped onto the chair in front of Mr. Nelson's chessboard. "Was anything ever good? My Don't Be Blueberry Pie? My Worry No S'more Bar? My One Smart Cookie? My Hot Flash Fudge Sundae?" She stopped, closed her eyes briefly, and then jerked upright on the chair, snapping her fingers at Renee. "I saw your eyes roll back in your head when you tried that dump him cake you helped dream up. You were in heaven. There's no way you could fake that." "Technically, I could," Renee mused as she clicked her way over to the porch railing. "But considering I lamented the effects of that cake on the scale the next morning, you know I didn't." "And you!" Winnie shifted her neck snap to indicate a clearly baffled Mr. Nelson. "I've caught you eating your way through what was supposed to be a customer's pie more times than I can count. No one made you do that." Bridget took a moment to address a wide-eyed Lovey. "This is why sleep is so important, little one. People who stay up all night, trying out recipes instead of sleeping, risk going mad. I've seen it before. With Hildegard Reeves. She lived on the other side of Silver Lake and routinely gave up sleep to crochet. Needless to say, dear old Hildy spent the last few years of her life under heavy sedation in the loony bin ward of Silver Lake General." "Look at her!" Renee pointed at Lovey. "It actually looks like she's nodding along with what Bridget is saying, doesn't it?" "Whit was." Winnie turned a wary eye on Mr. Nelson, his mouth full with Bridget's cast-off strawberry shortcake. "Whit was?" He swallowed. "It does. Look like she's nodding, that is." He lifted the remaining shortcake to his thinning lips and winked at Winnie. "This is good, Winnie girl." 30 minutes ago, I'd have believed you, Mr. Nelson, but now, not so much. He stopped chewing and stared at her. "I may be a prankster, Winnie girl, but I ain't no liar. Never have been, never will be." "But Bridget said you two are always hoping my desserts get better, but they don't." There was no denying the hurt in her voice, or the way Mr. Nelson nearly choked on whatever amount of shortcake still remained in his mouth. "I said no such thing," Bridget protested. "Yes, you did. You said it as you were rejecting the very same strawberry shortcake Mr. Nelson is eating right now." Bridget's eyebrows dipped downward in confusion, only to return to their normal resting place in short order. "I wasn't talking about your desserts, dear. I was talking about the summer folks. They seem to have multiplied in number and annoyingness this year." Wiping the back of his